Today I want to share with you some calm business insights that has led to a £5 million turnover business making an additional £100,000 a year profit. This precision bespoke engineering business unit, part of a larger group producing low volumes of individually designed products, had several visible problems. It had a mixture of both low and high volume products running through it. Financial performance was poor. On-time delivery was below acceptable levels, and communication between the business unit and group was breaking down. Using the principles of business calm, I found the insight that the key blockage was poor cooperation. Cooperation was needed so that high-volume contracts were delivered in a part of the business which was optimized for that kind of work. This business unit should focus on its key small-volume bespoke engineering, precision, and high-value marketplace. Cooperation allowed the precision engineering business to profitably focus and grow its core market, and transfer the high-volume product to a different group business, releasing £100,000 more profit each year. I was driving to my client along a busy motorway. A driver swerved out in front of me, less than 2 meters away, frustrated and desperate to get where he was going. I dropped back to give space to avoid any incidents. A lorry going the other way had a digger on top that was too high and was jammed firmly under a bridge. Ouch! A normal Monday morning with people all fitting into the same space, lost in their thinking, hopefully arriving safely as I did. This client made precision engineering products and was a £5 million turnover business, part of a larger group. The business prided itself on the bespoke design and quality of its products, serving customers with low volumes of engineered products to suit specialist needs. Looking to the baking industry for a comparison, the business was like a wedding cake maker, working closely with the customer to understand what they wanted and create specific individually designed cakes for them. Think Mary Berry or Paul Hollywood from the Bake Off competitions. Very different to high-volume cake businesses such as Mr. Kipling in the UK or McKee's Little Debbie Cakes in the US, making very good, very similar cakes in large numbers for many people. The strategy, pricing, margins, skill set, processes, ovens, and transport and logistics are different between the high and low volume businesses. They serve different markets and customers and innovate differently. Strategically, my client's business was a low-volume, high-innovation manufacturer with a class-leading capability at solving difficult problems in its market sector and charging accordingly. For example, in the motor industry, think Ferrari or Lamborghini, very different to Fiat. So the approach I took was back to basics. First, to understand. The basics of understanding what is going on. The approach I took was a third. A third capturing the raw data, a third analysis, a third reporting. Firstly, capturing the raw data, finding out what the situation was in the business. What was the business about? What were the people doing? What was important to them? What would they tell me? How would this relate to the reality of the situation? The politics of the business quickly became apparent. I had been brought in by the group management to help with the business performance of this precision engineering business unit. The people in the business were all great, dedicated, hard-working, talented, including the managing director, who showed signs of stress in his thinking, and that leaked out in several different ways. For example, the concern that finding things to improve and fix would create problems, rather than an opportunity to find ways to work with group and solve them. People from across the business met with me and shared what was important to them about their work and the business. I captured the data from the conversations, building up as requested by the client a spreadsheet of the issues identified and proposed solutions to those issues. I was aware that this approach risked staying with the visible problems, quickly funneling to detailed solutions and actions, and not finding the calm business insights that would make a difference to this business. There were several visible problems. Key indicators such as the financial performance of the business was poor, and on-time delivery had fallen far below acceptable levels. This business, which specialized in small-volume, bespoke, high-quality engineering products, was delivering a mixture of high-volume and low-volume contracts. There was confusion about what this business did, at many levels: its customers, marketplace, and how it fitted into the group. It was also clear that there was a communication breakdown between the group management and the managing director of the local business unit. So what was the underlying issue here? What was going on that led to this volume mixture in the business that meant that a low volume business was delivering high volume contracts? There was a strong focus on financial performance in the business. Every Monday morning, a 2-hour meeting was held by the group financial director, where each business unit managing director reported the financial status of their business and forecast the financial performance for the weeks ahead. Each week, these financial projections were compared with the actual weekly performance from the week before. Every week, relentlessly, financial projections. Yet this process had not resolved the problems that this business was facing. So what was going on? What was getting in the way? What was the business about? What was the real issue? Using the principles of business calm, I found an insight. The key blockage was cooperation. Let me explain. The managing director had won a prestigious contract for a high-volume product. The weekly financial pressures understandably meant that he wanted to put that through the business unit that he ran. This was the wrong place for successful delivery of this contract. The contract was right for the group, but wrong for that business unit. Profitable delivery of this contract needed a high-volume capability, like the Mr. Kipling, McKee volume cake business, not the bespoke artisan handcrafted products like the Mary Berry, Paul Hollywood cake business. In the car business example, Fiat, not Ferrari. That high-volume capability existed in the group at a different location. It needed to be delivered at that different location, but the financial mechanisms and business culture didn't allow for a contract to be won by one business and delivered by another. There was no mechanism for cooperation between the business units. The focus was only on financial results from contracts won and delivered by each business unit. It wasn't the only high-volume product in that low-volume bespoke engineered business unit. Resolving this issue of cooperation meant changes in policies and culture at the group level in support of the business units, cooperation across the group. The rationale behind looking for big contracts was simple. Big contracts ran for longer, gave predictable outcome, and took the pressure off the weekly finance meetings. Typically, these were volume contracts. This business unit was not in the volume market. It had become confused about which market it was in. It was in the business of small volume, bespoke, high-precision products. Looking for winning and delivering high-volume contracts created great stresses for this low-volume, bespoke, precision engineering business, and distracted from the business it was really in. Small volumes can be high value, high margin, a jewel in the crown. So in this marketplace, where is the high-value, small-volume work that customers want done to a high standard in a bespoke facility? The business already served this marketplace, but people were getting distracted serving the high-volume contracts that gave problems to deliver. Taking the high-volume contracts out of the business would in the short term leave a financial hole. This needed to be understood and dealt with. A refocusing of the business on its markets would be required. The time, effort, resources, and costs understood, recognized, and managed. Cooperation would be needed in the business unit, between business units, and at group level. With the existing high-volume contracts in the right location, the group would make more money, £100,000 a year more profit, and allow this business to focus on its niche, bespoke, low-volume, high-value marketplace to become more integrated with its marketplace. There was a change in personnel at that business unit. The managing director moved to another business within the group, and a new managing director was brought in. I went to meet with the new managing director to brief him on what I had found, my thoughts and recommendations. He said to me, "I was told that what you did was a bit academic, but now I see that was quite wrong. This is relevant, insightful, practical, and pragmatic. Thank you." Cooperation meant that the high-volume contract was moved to a high-volume business unit in the group, making an additional £100,000 profit a year. The precision engineering business was able to focus on its market niche, replace the transferred business, and profitably grow. Business calm achieved.